Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 5 of this Montreal Canadiens franchise mode here on my channel. Today we are going to be getting through the rest of the 2024-25 season, and we are going to be getting to the playoffs and potentially the draft depending on how well our team does. And maybe we miss the playoffs too. That is also another option based on our current division and the fact that it is so strong this year. There's really only about a 9-point difference between bottom place and 4th place. So we'll see how it goes. We have lots of important divisional games coming up. But before we get to any of that, let's get to the comment section. So if you guys want to get featured in the comment section, make sure to leave a comment. Also like and subscribe. That also helps your chances. But starting things off, we've got Martin Kolar, and he said, I would do the trade for Pickering, but this time I would trade for a bigger, at this time I would trade for a bigger defenseman for the playoffs. So we're talking about the trade that we were offered last episode for Jake Evans, and really what that trade consisted of was a guy in Jake Evans, who has been a long-time Montreal Canadien. He's done really well, but he is currently injured as well. So I don't know if we can actually trade him right now. Does look like we can. Okay. And apparently that Pittsburgh deal isn't on the table anymore, so we'd have to go and recreate that. So that's a little bit frustrating, probably just because he's injured more than anything, but that's what most of these comments are talking about. The other one that was relating to that was from Robert Weber, who was talking about saying, definitely watch his drafting tutorial. Best one I've seen. Once you get those scouts in the 3rd season that are A-rated, you become a godlike GM with a crazy prospect pool. He said the Pickering trade gives you size on the blue line for an expiring contract. And Evans, no-brainer, loving the GM mode. Okay, so that's 2 comments where we're talking about bringing in Owen Pickering in exchange for Jake Evans, and this was a deal Pittsburgh was seeking earlier again. And then the final comment regarding this situation came from the Chosen Warrior, saying, I'm biased as a Habs fan, but you should keep Jake Evans, 7th round pick that has made it to the NHL. Good story. I'd love to see him stay on the team. So that's a great comment as well. That's something we can definitely look to do instead. Let's see, did they trade Pickering? No, they didn't. But yeah, even just a 1-for-1 kind of deal here would be maybe something we're looking at. Let's see. Where is Evans? He's the only injured guy, right? And yeah, obviously that trade isn't equal. We would be trading probably a pick along with this. And yes, Pickering is a great defenseman. He's big, 6'4", 187. But at the same time, he's also only 72 rated at 21 years old. That is kind of the biggest problem with this deal, and that's why I'm leaning towards the Chosen Warriors comment and the rest of the Habs fans watching this series. Apart from that comment, though, we had 2 other ones. First off, Braden Cream saying, you should draft Daigle and Cullimore. Daigle is going to be a very good franchise goalie in the future, and Cullimore could be the one piece Montreal's missing. So, as far as those 2 prospects go, we're still waiting on scouting reports from them. But both of them right in here. First one, Cullimore being an offensive defenseman, another smaller defenseman, but he's a gem and could be really good. And then Gabriel Daigle, again, both QMJHL prospects, so guys that we want to bring in. I don't think we're going to be going for a guy like Brent Hood, but yeah, Joffrey Cullimore, I'm very interested in, and of course, Gabriel Daigle too. So we'll see if we are able to get those guys in this episode or in the next episode or what happens. But the final comment came from user FT5 and a whole bunch of other numbers there saying, I think you try trading Newhook for a power forward center. Eklund from the Sharks would be a great option. Even adding a couple picks wouldn't hurt either. So that one's an interesting one. I actually disagree with that one. Like, yes, we could try to go trade for a power forward center, but who would we really go for? Like, are we going to go for like a young guy that's, I don't know, like off the top of my head, I think maybe like Quinton Byfield or somebody like that as a power forward center. But we have Kirby Dach already, 6'4", 212. He's a power forward. He can play center. We have him on the wing right now. And Newhook is actually the better of those 2 guys drafted in 2019. Obviously, 13 draft position difference in between them. Newhook was picked, of course, 1 pick after Cole Caulfield. So that's another guy that Montreal looked at and went, oh yeah. Yeah, we could use a guy like that. So they went out and got him, obviously. But yeah, Montreal has just loved their 2019 draft picks. Obviously, not all of them are turning out, as Dach is struggling more than the others between Newhook and Caulfield. But still, pieces that I do not want to move currently, and pieces that I think are going to be part of this team's growth, expansion, and not really rebuild, but just growth into success more so. So that is the current state that we're at. Those are all the comments that made it into the video. If your comment didn't get featured, I apologize. But currently, this team is right on that cusp of being in the playoffs or out of the playoffs. So as we continue on here, I don't believe we're going to make any real big trades or moves or anything like that. As far as power forward centers go, we can go take a look, but I really just don't think that's what we need at this point. Let's check out all the power forwards here. So obviously, yeah, you got your top guys like Tkachuk. We've got one of them in Slavkovsky there. Both the Tkachuks, obviously. Slavkovsky is going to be expensive here once he gets rolling, but really, yeah, there's not too many guys I would consider trading Newhook for to start with. And like I said, yes, Byfield looks great. He's going to be an amazing power forward, but just not really like, yes, this team could use maybe a little bit more size. Maybe that comes more towards the back end of the defense. But at this current moment, I really don't see a need to push too hard for that. We have prospects that could develop, guys like Landon Alberts. So we'll see how that development curve goes. And of course, we've got a draft coming up that we could very well land another power forward or two at. So keep that in mind. Nigel. All right. We have our daily Nigel feature. Come here. Oh, he's happy right now, too. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys can really hear him right now, but yeah, he's happy. Oh. Okay, so Nigel's going to hang out with me here because he's being a cat, so he's sitting right here. But we're going to get back to it, and you'll probably hear him purring and meowing and making a bunch of noises throughout the recording, which is all good. Can you stop eating my chair, please? Alright, so GM Nigel is really making an appearance today, but that is all good. Oh, and now he's not sure what he's doing here. He's still being a cat, so anyways, we are going to just simulate up past the trade deadline, not really make any moves because this team is still in that teetering point depending on whether or not we make the playoffs, but we're going to simulate ahead and we're going to get up to the end of the regular season here, which is April 14th, which is perfect. So let's continue on. We're not going to make any changes and we are just going to keep on going. So, starting things off, we're going to beat Ottawa, Tampa, and Boston, which, wow, okay, that is just moving us straight up to the top, which is perfect. All right, we win like 6 games in a row there, which is awesome. See you later, Nigel. What a goofball. All good by me. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gallagher's still been a key contributor here. He's had 13 points. 21 points throughout 46 games, which is solid. He might be a guy that gets kind of popped in for playoff matchups. Very possibly. He's actually been better than Jake Evans, which is okay. Evans has played 62, and he's been solid. But man, this team's just been great. 40 points, 50 games for Pacioretty. 78 points in 76 games for Alex Newhook. That's a crazy good simulation. And 58 in 76 for Kirby Dach. So everybody's cooking right now. I am extremely happy with this. And then we lose one more to the Rangers there. A couple in a row to Boston and Toronto. But we will finish off the season with a 52-29-1 record for 105 points. The Calgary Flames, on the other hand, finish off with a 29-42-11 record for just 69 points, which is actually, let's see, they got what, 32. That is like third worst in the entire league. Third worst. That is insane. Cole Caulfield scores back-to-back 50-plus goal seasons, which is awesome. I can't believe how many assists he's getting, too. He has been just racking up the assists. Slavkovsky had a great season, 34 goals, 96 points. Tons of assists as well, considering, well, I guess his passing is quite good. 96 passing is really about as good as you can get. And Newhook impressed me. Hudson scores 60 in his rookie year. That is phenomenal. He very well might win the Calder. And Caulfield's 55 has got to put him towards the top of the league. He didn't quite break his goal record, but it was still really good. Fleury 138, had a .911 save percentage. Beautiful. All right, and I guess we can't quite check this yet. Oh, Jack Hughes. Wow. Wow. What a season from him. The Colorado guys do get caught. Makar still finishes top 10 in the league with at least 107, maybe more than that in points. Again, we just need to advance another day or two here just to get the league all squared up on 82 games. And it should be there now. Okay, perfect. So there you have it. Caulfield scores 112 points in just 78 games as well, which is scary. It's scary how good that is. Like, he might be one of the most complete players as far as point production goes in the entire league. You give him 4 more games, he's probably finishing with more than 4 points. More in those games. So, yeah, just keep an eye on Caulfield. He could be the single-handedly best offensive producer right now in this save in this sim. Because, yeah, I haven't seen numbers like that from too many players anywhere, usually. So, is he a power forward? No, he should be a playmaker. Yeah, I was like, there's no way they call Brad a playmaker. Oh my god, I didn't realize Matthews scored 74 goals. That is, oh my god. Holy, he had almost 2 goals for every 1 assist he scored. That's absurd. That is absurd scoring numbers from Austin Matthews. He just constantly put the puck in the net this year, like almost every single game. Best rookie, oh man, that's going to be close, honestly. The fact that Hudson is a defenseman and scored 60, I think should put him at least in the conversation, if not winning the Calder Trophy this year. Korchinski was still great too. But yeah, no, Hudson, in my opinion, Hudson deserves that trophy based on the fact that he scored 60 points as a defenseman. Georgiev was able to do really well with 46 wins. Fleury finishes just outside the top 5 there with 38 wins and out of 61 games, so that's impressive. Makar's obviously going to be on top, and he's on top by a fairly large or fairly wide, and I kind of mixed the words together. By a fairly wide margin, 90 assists is about as good as it gets. He probably had the most assists in the league. Suzuki was close, but yeah, 90 assists from Makar is absolutely absurd. Jack Hughes, only plus 11 in spite of being on the ice for 116 points. So that's pretty crazy as well. Your best shooter is probably without a doubt Austin Matthews as far as actually putting up numbers. Sean Monahan was actually quite good, 23% shooting. He didn't fire a whole lot of shots versus if you go guys over 100 shots. Matthews at 19.9%. He scored on almost 20% of his shots. Yeah, that's insane. And the most shots in the league goes to Ovechkin with almost 400, and he scored 61 goals. So I think at this point Ovi's broken the record. Oh yeah, he's like well and beyond it, like 40 goals well and beyond it here at 39 years old. But he's done it. Ovi does it. So that's not really surprising, just expected eventually. So as far as league standings go this year, looking at the overall or entire league, we were able to finish 6th place this year, so an improvement from last year. And then as far as worst teams go, Calgary finished bottom 3. So that is an extremely huge pick for us, because that means we're going to get to keep that pick. Alright guys, so as we advance a couple days, you can see the AHL schedule is just absolutely brutal, but we're going to get into the playoff setup here, see who we're playing against. We make round 1 of the playoffs, so that's great. And it's going to be the Florida Panthers. So Florida is a good team. They had a slightly worse record than us, but really, when it's this close, we had a slightly worse record than them. Florida had more points than us because they were the 2nd seed in the division. We were 3rd. And I just went right past their team. Okay, so here is the Panthers team we're looking at. Carter Verhaeghe looks really good, my goodness. But yeah, very, very solid, very well-balanced team here. They've got Raphael Lavoie of Edmonton. They've done their work as far as kind of building out a very solid top end of the team. The bottom end is questionable sometimes. Looks like Edler's injured, but their goaltending is scary good. Yeah, I can't believe how good their goaltending is actually. So yeah, very, very solid group of players here in Florida. This is a team we definitely need to watch out for. They very easily could just shut us down and end any playoff hopes that our team might have, but with that in mind, and us being supposedly sellers still, let's get to this playoff matchup. It should be a fun one, and I'm not expecting a whole lot out of it, but we have seen some pretty solid growth throughout our team, so maybe that'll make a difference this year. Maybe it won't, but I have high hopes for this team. I don't want to get those hopes so high that they come crashing down. But I also want to think about this just as far as if we can make it out of round 1 of the playoffs and not get eliminated like we did last year, that gives us some grounds to maybe continue to improve, maybe continue to move on through the playoffs and go farther than I really expect this team to, but we'll see. So let's get to it. I'm not really too worried about the AHL stats yet. I'm going to get those inputted later, but at the moment, too, the draft class quality is coming along fairly nicely. Looks like there's mainly forwards for like low elite prospects in there, but we'll see. So here we go. Game number 1 against Florida. Again, like I've said before, we're going to watch games on broadcast if we do jump in and commentate them. But let's get to it. First game of the playoffs here in 2025. And starting things off 2-1 as Verhaeghe opens the scoring on the power play. Newhook scores, and then Rodriguez gets it up 2-1 for Florida. Second period, the game is tied up from a Cole Caulfield power play goal. And into the third period here. Let's see how we do. I would love to get a win in game 1 on away ice. Power play again for Montreal. We don't score that time. All right, so, there it is. Alex Newhook gives us the lead. That was quick. It doesn't, usually the simulation, kind of stops for a second, and then Jesse Alonen makes it 4-2. Beautiful third period here, 2 goals, 4. And there you have it. We win game 1 in the 2025 playoffs of round 1. So not a bad start there at all. 2 goals from Alex Newhook makes a huge difference, and like we've said, he's come a long way just over this past season even. So a great start, and let's see if we can continue that momentum into game 2. All right, first period, 4-1. Oh my goodness. Savard, Dvorak, Harvey Pinard, and Caulfield all get goals. Barkov gets a power play goal there, but we just crush them on even strength here in the first period. All right, second period, it's 4-2 as Back gets a goal back. And then third period, we win the game 5-3 as Barkov gets his second, and it's a shorty, and Jesse Alonen gets one to kind of just solidify the game there. It would have been 5-2, so that game was over really without any question. So a very solid performance in game 2. Alex Newhook gets 2 assists, and he has been an early competitor for our best player. He is playing like our best player right now on the team. So into game 3 against Florida here, and first period of game 3, Florida's going to get a 2-1 lead there as Hutsko and Bennett get the goals for them. Caulfield scores yet again for us. but we get outshot pretty heavily there in the first period. All right, second period, it's 4-1 as Bennett and Tkachuk both get on the board. And this game might be a write-off, honestly, but third period, yeah, Rodriguez scores on the power play, and that one was kind of down the toilet at the end of the second period. So not a great home performance, and maybe there's a home ice curse or something going on right now, because that is sure what it's looking like. Also, guys, I did just want to point out, our Laval Rocket went 45-14-4 for what very well might be the best record in the entire AHL. It was indeed, so wow, that is a crazy good season from those guys. I'm thoroughly impressed that they did that well. Okay, so I'm not really too concerned about the AHL playoffs and the Calder Cup, but as we get into the Stanley Cup playoffs in Game 4 here, we're looking to take a 3-1 commanding series lead, and we start off with a 1-1 game as Ekblad and Slavkovsky both find the net. Second period, make it 3-1 for Montreal as Slavkovsky has got his second of the game in 2 periods, and as we head into the third, we could very possibly be looking at elimination here. So I'm going to jump in, watch it with the headphones, and we'll see what happens. But another defensive zone face-off. This time it's going to go back to Barkov again. Shot, rebound, and it redirects right onto the stick of Alexander Barkov. Not really a skill goal, but just a good bounce for the Florida Panthers as they continue to build and build and build pressure. And they are on the board less than a minute into the third period here. So maybe we are not moving on just yet, but look at that bounce. Hudson gets caught out of position, and Barkov just wins that battle physically. So not really surprising there, but Fleury had already reacted, was already down and out from the first shot, and just goes straight onto Barkov's stick there. So Barkov now with 5 points in the playoffs too. We've got at least 4 different 5-point players here now in just 4 games in the playoffs. Spencer Knight making some absolutely amazing saves up to this point. It has been fabulous. Honestly, I'm going to turn off my face cam for this, guys, I think we're just going to go with the Xbox screen. I think that'll be better. And yeah, that looks so much better. All right. Now, back to Harvey Pinard. He wins it off the boards, and he scores! Post and in. Raphael Harvey Pinard. And Montreal is up 4-2, sorry. What a shot from the slot by Harvey Pinard. He gets free off those boards, bursts to the middle, and beats Knight, low blocker side, post and in. What a fabulous shot there by the third line playmaker, and Montreal takes a 2-goal lead yet again. Knight now Pesce over to Hudson. Hudson turns it over to Tkachuk, and he is tripped on a breakaway. I don't think it's going to be a penalty shot, but it will be a 2-minute tripping penalty for sure, as Hudson was beat and makes the right play most likely to prevent a goal, as Tkachuk looked like he was in clean. But shots, blocks, chaos in front, and finally Barrie almost clears it. Lavoie holds the line though. Now Montour fires from the slot and scores. And the Florida power play does convert after utter chaos in the Montreal defensive end here. What a shot there that was by Brandon Montour. After the glove down by Lavoie, it is able to end up right on the stick in the slot of Montour, and Suzuki cannot recover defensively in time as he got caught way out of position. And Montour just has his way with that shot. Absolute laser from the top of the circle. So now it's a 1-goal game again, 4-3, as Florida is back in it off of that Lane Hudson tripping penalty. So face-off going to go to the Panthers this time. Pearson now just gets absolutely leveled by David Savard. He's slow to get up, and he looks hurt. What a hit that was. My goodness. Now, Caden Gooley going to change the puck up. Now, Pinard looking to deke. He's knocked off the puck, though. And we're going to change up the lines here. Ooh, almost a bad line change, but Montreal's going to take off the other way. Farrell trying to get free, can't quite find it. Now he finds Barrie into Xhekaj. Over to Yolonen, and a great chance there, but a better save. My goodness, what a chance that was. Now Ekman Larson in the other way. Shot, blocked, it bounces around, but it's cleared out of the slot as Lundell could have almost tapped that one in. Pass in front, and Jake Evans is loose. Jake Evans in on a breakaway. Does he finish? He does not. What a save by Spencer Knight. Pesce out now. Tried to get it up to Doc, but couldn't. Now Kirby Doc going to force the dump in. Pacioretty now. Knocked off the puck. Shot, save, rebound, and it's in the net. Grigory Denisenko is able to clean up the rebound, and we have got a tie game here. So unfortunately not what we were looking for, but Florida is able to fight and claw their way back into this. After being 2 goals down, Fleury just has not been good enough. Those are some fairly easy chances. And yeah, Fleury just hasn't made the saves when we've needed it. But Hudson has also been caught out of position time and time again in this third period, honestly. I'm considering sitting him, but we don't really have the defensive capabilities to do so right now. Oh boy, so we have got a game on our hands here as the Florida Panthers have fought and clawed their way back. Now, Slavkovsky in over to Caulfield. Cole Caulfield trying to center it, can't get it though, and Mikkola is going to take off with it. Now Mikkola up to Tkachuk, he's knocked off the puck there by Hudson. The battle ensues, it's going to kick out to Barkov. Face off, going to try to shoot right off the bat there, but Barkov can't quite do it. So we will head to OT, and it has been chances galore at both ends, but the Panthers managed to capitalize on a few more chances, scoring 3 goals in the third period. And we are off to OT here. So as the Montreal fans wait patiently here, they're looking to try and end this series. I believe it's end this series. I might be wrong, actually. Dvorak looking for a shot. He hesitates, looks back, finds Xhekaj in the slot. Save, rebound, it bounces around, and Kirby Dach finds it. He finishes it off, and the Montreal Canadiens win this game. And I don't believe it's the series, but they are able to win this game. I think I was actually premature on jumping into the gameplay, but man, that was exciting still. And the Canadiens go up 3-1. I thought for some reason that this was the deciding game, but Kirby Dach does find it there out of the traffic and fires it top corner. And you can see Knight was just down and out of the play. And Dach is able to get that one up top. Obviously, Knight was not able to recover, but there you have it. The Habs are up 3-1. So really, just a fabulous game there. That one was quite enjoyable. I wish that that was the deciding game because it was a heck of a game. But as we head into game number 5 here, this could actually decide the series here for the Montreal Canadiens. And first period, we start off up 3-1 as Slavkovsky, Dach, and Slavkovsky. Same 3 goal scorers as last game, pretty much. And Sam Bennett are all on the board after the first. Second period, make it a 4-2 game as Suzuki and Lundell both get goals. But up 2 goals again. Let's see if the Canadiens cannot choke this one out and finish it off here in Florida. Here we are. I don't think I didn't turn on coaching adjustments this time, so now we're just at the mercy of the simulation. Oh god, I messed up. I just straight up jumped right into the game. I was like, why is this working like this right now? Lundell breaking in, pass in front of Pearson, save, rebound. What a save by Fleury. I thought for sure it was in the net. Now turned over the other way and Pacioretty is gone. Pacioretty tries to shield the puck rather than just outskate his man. Pass in front now and Anton Lundell. What a deke. And a finish. My goodness. The forehand backhand move catches Fleury out of position. And Anton Lundell has made this a 1-goal game again from a fabulous half-ball pass there as Pearson finds him on the backhand. What a pass that was. Tanner Pearson over the stick, and Lundell just does not hesitate to deke Fleury right out of his crease pretty much. Now Luosterainen over to Pearson. We back right in, and oh my goodness, what a goal. Luosterainen knocks the puck out of the air, and we are tied up yet again. The bounce is just going Florida's way as Eetu Luosterainen finds that one out of mid-air. My goodness, it's off the post and in too. Talk about a gorgeous goal. That was something. Man, oh man, what a goal. I can't even be mad about that one, but all the bounces seem to be going Florida's way right now. Fabulous opportunity. Slavkovsky's tripped up, and the Canadiens will go on the power play there as the stick just gets into the feet, and Carter Verhaeghe will serve 2 in the box. So another face-off in the offensive end. Florida yet to clear the puck still on this PK, and it's won yet again by Suzuki. Now Caulfield into the middle, chance saved, it's kicks around. Suzuki finds it, rebound, Caulfield scores! And as the Chaos ensues near the crease. Cole Caulfield gets the loose puck and is able to put that one into the cage for his 4th goal of the playoffs, and a nice power play marker at that. Hard work here by the Montreal Canadiens top power play unit, but my goodness, just a fabulous, fabulous effort there on the power play man advantage, and we are out of a tie, broken the deadlock, whatever you want to call it. 7.5 minutes left. Montreal versus Florida. We are down the stretch. Let's see how it goes. Now Brendan Montour poked off the puck by Gouli, and he's flattened. Alex Newhook down the other way. Pass in front to Pacioretty. Great save. Knight. Rebound. Kirby Dach scores. And we have got a 2-goal Montreal lead as they are able to find another loose puck that isn't tracked by Spencer Knight, and it's in the back of the net yet again. Great battle in front, and Knight isn't able to recover and find that puck as there's tons of traffic between Lavoie and Pacioretty in front, and it kicks out to the side, and Dach is waiting there opportunistically to give Montreal the 2-goal lead. Now Hudson finds it. He'll send it up to Pesce, and Brett Pesce aims for the open net and hits it as the Montreal Canadiens will advance to the 2nd round of the playoffs for the first time since 2022, I believe. Sorry, 2021. So as the Florida fans boo on, Montreal will be moving on. Now, Dvorak battling it out with Tkachuk, and they're going to continue to fight on for the puck in the corner. This one now turned over, Barkov centering, and Verhaeghe is able to tuck that one in with just 3 seconds left, but too little too late here from the Florida Panthers as this game is over. A very nice shot, though, over the glove by Verhaeghe, but a good work, good centering pass by Alexander Barkov, and he finds Verhaeghe centering into the slot, and Gouli just cannot pick that one up. Same with Fleury in time. So in the final few seconds of this game, it will be getting wrapped up nice and quickly here. But Edler will send it up. Lundell looking to make a play, and that is it. The Montreal Canadiens head to the 2nd round of the playoffs. A fabulous performance here in Sunshine, Florida. And we are headed on to round 2. All right, so as we head on to the 2nd round of the playoffs, a 3-point night from Slavkovsky, Caulfield, and Suzuki had 4 points. So a fabulous night there. And that's what it takes to win games like this and series like this. So we'll have to wait for the rest of the playoffs. It looks like the only other team that's through right now is the Ottawa Senators. So we've got some crazy good matchups here in the playoffs. That's always exciting to watch. And it looks like we are down or tied. Looks like we are... Where are we? Looks like we are tied 1-1 with Utica right now in the Calder Cup playoffs, so we'll continue to watch that. We go up 2-1. Can we make it a 3-1 series win? Yes, we can. Beautiful. That is what we like to see. All right, so Seattle beats Edmonton in 6. Vancouver beats LA in 7. Colorado beats Winnipeg in 6. Dallas and Arizona go to 7. Boston beats Toronto in 6. The Islanders beat the Penguins in 6, and the Senators beat the Devils in a clean sweep. All right, so we're just waiting on that Dallas-Arizona series. And we're on to the 2nd round, and it looks like it is going to be the Dallas Stars moving on, beating Arizona in 7 there. So we will get the Boston Bruins here in round 2 of the playoffs. That's a tough matchup, honestly, but man, oh man, this should be a fun one because the Bruins, man, we know how the Bruins are. And they're a team, rough and tumble kind of team, a team you don't want to play against necessarily, but they have got some very good players, guys like David Pastrnak on their team. They've got Philip Deneau now. They are missing Brad Marchand currently to injury, and at 36, that's something you wonder if he's going to come back from. Linus Ullmark still looking amazing at 31 years old. And that's instincts. They added some new goalie X factors that I'm still getting used to. But the defense looks solid here apart from Ryan Mast. But even then, Ryan Mast still is a very big body, punishing defenseman, and really they only have one guy under 6 feet tall on their blue line, so that'd be Matt Grzelcyk at 5'10". If you look at our team, we don't have the biggest defense in the world. Obviously, We don't have the biggest forward group in the world either, but we're not particularly disadvantaged on the defensive end either. So let's continue on here. The team has played well so far, and we have the fabled Canadiens Bruins matchup here in round 2 of the playoffs. This is exactly the type of stuff that goes down in the history books, but game 1, let's get to it. First period of game 1, 5 goals scored. Caulfield, Suzuki, and Yolonen find the back of the net for the Habs. Zacha and Frederick for the Bruins. And we are off to a hot start. All right, second period, make it a 3-3 game as Pavel Zacha is able to beat Marc-Andre Fleury yet again. And then into the third period, and it's going to be a 6-4 Bruins win as Boqvist, Pasternak, and Coyle all get goals for the Bees, while Cole Caulfield gets the only goal there for Montreal in the third period. So not a good enough performance in game 1, but it happens. All right, into game 2. We need to do better here after that, and let's see how we can do in front of our home fans in game 2 here. First period, it is a 0-0 game, 10-9 on shots. Second period, 4-0 as Caulfield, Doc, Suzuki, and Harvey Pinard all beat Ullmark, and this should be a clean-up game 2 here for the Canadiens, and it is indeed as Harvey Pinard gets his second on the power play, end of the game, and we win that one handily, 5-0. Third game of this second round series against the Bruins. And this time we are at TD Garden again, a very hostile atmosphere for the Canadiens. But first period, we're down 2-0 as Laco and Mast both get goals. Second period, it's 4-0 for the Bruins as Pasternak scores twice. And the third period will result in a 5-3 game as we fight back, but Pasternak finishes off the game and a hat trick in the playoffs. Although Slavkovsky, Anderson, and Newhook were all able to score, it wasn't enough. So, down 2-1, we are in it. In a tough series here against the Bruins. Honestly, they're one of the league's best still because of certain players they have on their roster and just how strong their back end is. But first period of game 4, we're down 1-0 as Trent Frederick gets a goal, 10-10 on shots. Second period, make it a 2-1 Canadiens lead as Caulfield and Anderson both score. And in the third period, we're going to win that game 6-3 as both teams are able to score a bunch, but we get 4 goals while the Bruins only get 2. 2 goals from Kirby Dach as well, so a huge performance from him there. We scored twice on the power play as well. We are tied 2 apiece heading back to Montreal, so it's really a best-of-3 series now. Whoever can win 2 games out of these next 3 will be moving on. So, into Game 5. It's quite the series here. But first period of Game 5, it's 0-0, 9-8 on shots for the Bruins. All right, second period, it's 1-0 for Montreal as Kirby Dach yet again is able to score a playoff goal. He has been solid for us in the postseason here. And into the third period, it's going to be a 2-1 Montreal lead as Christian Dvorak gets the goal. Philip Deneau scores 1 for Boston, but it's not enough. Low scoring Game 5, and we have the chance to win this series on away ice here in just 6 games. We've obviously got the scouting reports are all in here as well, which is awesome. It looks like Joffrey Cullimore is definitely going to be a defenseman we want to go after. And then, of course, Gabriel Daigle. NHL ready, high elite goalie. That is a guy we need to get. So as we continue on looking for other steals in this draft, looks like we'll still have to wait on Paddock here, but he's going to be a player that we're definitely going to look into a little more. Same with Vitaly Moroza, and same with Dennis Chipchura. Apart from that, lots of other guys that we don't really know yet, as far as Erickson, Leduc, a couple other guys in there. Actually, quite a few guys that we're not certain on. As far as low elites go, though, you can see we've got quite a collection of low elite forwards here, mainly centers and wingers, and more so power forwards than anybody else. But Ruben Bois could be a player that we look into as well. And yeah, that is the majority of the draft class here. Like, there's lots of quality options in this draft. It's just a matter of who are we actually going to be able to go out and get and pick up and draft. So the AHL playoffs are over. We're moving on, and we are in the conference finals against the Bridgeport Islanders, which is awesome. But as we head into game number 6 here at TD Garden, let's see if the Canadiens can move on to the conference finals. First period, 0-0 game. We get outshot 12-5. Yikes. All right, second period, it's a 2-0 Habs lead, and we very well might be going home. Or very well might be sending the Bruins home, sorry. I was going to say we might be going home with a victory, which might be the case. So let's see. All right, so the infamous 2-goal lead. Let's see how the Canadiens deal with it this game, but it should be a fun one. And there's a penalty here for the Bruins. Now Newhook can't get by the defensive stick of Coyle, and we are going on a power play here. So the goal is going to be to extend this lead, make it a 4-1 game, or sorry, a 3-0 game. I thought it was 3-1 for some reason, but a 3-0 game would be the best option here for the Canadiens. It's going to be a slashing penalty there on Boqvist. Come on, boys. Let's, there we go. Oh, my goodness. Tyson Barrie just sent a Bruin into the bench. And great opportunities there for us to utilize odd man rushes, but they just don't go through. Now Steen coming down. He's knocked off there by Hudson, and Caulfield picks it up. Caulfield, breakaway pass up to Suzuki. Nick Suzuki cuts in. Oh, my goodness. What a goal. He pulls off the Forsberg in game. And it's a 3-0 game. That was a fabulous goal by the captain, Nick Suzuki. I have not seen a player pull that off on a breakaway in a long time. But man, oh man, he makes Olmark look silly on that one. Driving the net, he knows the defender's there, but he uses his puck on a string ability to just keep the puck out of the defender's reach the whole time. And Caulfield is now your point leader in the playoffs. My goodness, the Habs are going on a run here. Now Slavkovsky looking for a play. He holds up, tries to send it away. Xhekaj going to have to give up possession. Now there's a trip for Montreal, and Boston will get a power play opportunity. So Cole Caulfield, who just changed the momentum of the game by extending the lead to 3, then takes a penalty. So his teammates are going to have to kill it off here. So face-off can go back to Grzelcyk. He's going to walk in, tries to fire, and can't quite get it off. Now over to McAvoy, right in front, and Charlize Coyle breaks the shutout there for the Montreal Canadiens. And we have got a 2-goal game yet again, as the Bruins aren't done yet. So good puck movement, a good kind of tip/shot there, I would call that, as Coyle kind of just redirects it up and over the shoulder of... over the pad of Marc-Andre Fleury. Gets it underneath the blocker there, but just a very, very good finish right in front there by the power forward. Exactly what you would expect from him. So face off in the defensive end here, and this one's going to go back to the Bruins. Charlie McAvoy over to, Hampus Lindholm hits the crossbar or the woodwork there. Great chance. Now Pasternak firing rebound. He cleans up his own rebound, and it is a 3-2 game just like that. The Bruins are right back in it, and the momentum shifts very quickly there. My goodness. Fabulous opportunities here for the Bruins, as the Canadiens are just giving it up defensively. And yeah, Fleury was way out of position on that one. So not really the position we wanted to be in after being up 3-0. But we're going to have to lock it down here with 8 minutes left in the third. Pasternak into Grzelcyk. That one's cut off by Hudson, and Pesce finds it. Pesce up to Caulfield now. Caulfield finds Slavkovsky on the crisscross. Slavkovsky back in. Pesce in the slot, and he scores. Brett Pesce off the post with 49 seconds left solidifies the Canadiens' win here. And this will be Montreal series in Game 6 here. With just 49 seconds left, it really could have gone either way. But Pesce just able to wire that one home with under a minute left in Game 6. My goodness. What an absolutely fabulous chain of events, chances, opportunities, and Montreal looks like they will be heading on to the conference finals. So TD Garden silent in here now, as the Bruins fans know that it is time to head home. And now Doc looking to send this one in deep. Hudson's going to find Newhook, and Newhook's going to skate this one down and find the open cage. No mistakes made there. And it is a 5-2 victory as the Canadiens will beat the Bruins in this ferocious rivalry series. And my goodness, was it ever a fabulous series. Games back and forth both ways. Star players getting the job done, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to that power play goal as well as just hard work by the Montreal Canadiens. The game-winning goal will indeed be the Forsberg goal scored by Suzuki on the breakaway during the power play. But this one is going to wrap up as a Canadiens win. So Newhook and Doc going to work. Newhook tries to fire on net. Doc looking for a pass. Newhook's shot doesn't go. And that one almost went into the net. But it doesn't matter as Montreal wins 2 playoff series in this one episode. And man, oh man, we might be extending it out here. We might get a couple episodes out of this season alone. It has been a very solid season for the Canadiens here, and they head on to yet another playoff round. So it would be an absolutely nostalgic and fabulous run if we are able to continue on here and try to get Fleury and Pacioretty Stanley Cups. That would be absolutely amazing in a Canadiens uniform, but there are chances. There were lots of back and forths, but at the end of the day, Montreal just had the upper hand. Another 3-point night for Caulfield, 2 for Hudson and Slavkovsky and Suzuki. And that is what you like to see from your star players. But apart from that, looks like we have got an all-Canadian Eastern Conference matchup here. We could potentially have 3 out of 4 Canadian teams make the conference finals if and only if the Vancouver Canucks win their next game here. So let's see what happens. And we have no decisiveness yet. And it looks like, nope, Colorado and Seattle will both win that game. But we're going to have to delay the draft for another episode, and I am all good with that. It was a fabulous playoff run here from the Canadiens, and that's exactly what we like to see. But man, oh man, Caulfield is having a playoff run right now. So we get a Colorado-Seattle Western Conference matchup. That one's going to be fun as well. But let's see, where are we at? We're tied 1-1 with Bridgeport there, so that is awesome. But that is where we're going to lock it up for this episode. Next episode, we will get to the conference finals, maybe the Stanley Cup finals, depending on how good or bad Ottawa is and how well they play. But of course, we also need to just take a quick peek at the other team or other teams that we could potentially be playing. First off, the Colorado Avalanche. We know this team's a powerhouse. They've got solid depth on the bottom lines and an extremely solid defensive core here too. My goodness, that is going to be a tough team to play against. There's no doubt about that. And Georgiev and Francouz in net, that is, or Francouz, however you say his name, that is a really good group there. As far as the Senators go, Kachuk and Stützle and Batherson too. Yeah, that is going to be a tough one for sure. Shane Pinto as well. A couple really good players there. They've got Matthew Savoie there as well, so that is a good group. Shabbat and Sanderson as well as Chychrun. Their defense is just extremely solid. And then with Korpisalo and net, Ottawa has a lot of opportunity to be a deadly team. They can do that on the defensive or offensive side. And as far as the Seattle Kraken go, this looks like a very similar roster to the team that they were able to beat Colorado with just a few years ago. Only a couple additions in Yamamoto and a bigger role for Matthew Beniers, but that's really about it. Apart from that, this is almost identical to the roster that was able to beat the Avalanche just a couple years earlier. They did manage to get their hands on Matvei Petrov, so that's an interesting one, but this should be a fun Final Four here. So if you guys are looking forward to the next round of the playoffs and potentially the draft as well, make sure to drop a like on this video. Of course, we will be pushing to go and get guys like Cullimore and, of course, Gabriel Daigle. But we're going to have to definitely trade that Calgary pick down if we're going to manage to get both guys. That's going to be the trickiest part of this upcoming episode, is just being able to actually get our hands on 2 prospects here in the first round. So that is where we are going to leave it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe, and hit notifications. But that is going to be it for this one. I realize I didn't have my face cam on the whole time, but I will see you guys in the next one.